guys, welcome back. Today is our official mystery makeup investigation kickoff. We did talk about what it's going to be in the previous video, and we drew the products that I was looking at this week. And so if you want to get in deep to the 3 products that I chose in that video, then just keep on watching. A lot of information for you today. I'm going to try my best not to stumble over my words. So just as a reminder, the 3 products that I picked last week were a highlighter, a setting spray, and a lipstick. I have formed my thoughts and opinions on these products in terms of how I like to use them, if they worked for me, things like that. And then I also did some really deep research into each of these products, including their formula, how they're meant to be used according to the Ulta and Sephora websites or the direct sale website. And so let's go ahead and get into it because this might be kind of long. I'm gonna try for it not to be. So the first one is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Mini in the shade Opal. It is a cruelty-free company according to Sephora, I believe. According to the Becca website and the other 2 as well, the full size is $38. A best-selling creamy highlighter powder to light up the features you love with a high shine finish. In the full size, you do get 8 grams of product. They say this iconic formula is enriched with ultrafine luminescent pearls that absorb, reflect, and refract light to amplify your natural radiance. Sounds pretty good. And unlike traditional pressed powders, this is a one-of-a-kind formula, blends pigments with liquids to create an unparalleled creamy feeling that applies like seamless silk and never cakes. This might be a good time for me to swatch it for you. I will say that it does feel very buttery and creamy. And go ahead and show that. I mean, could you get any more pigmented than that or radiant? I don't think you can. It is free of parabens, sulfates, and phthalates. To the Sephora website, which is where I actually got mine, the mini version is $19 and comes with 2.4 grams of product. You get 8 grams in the full size. So honestly, you're probably better off buying the full size, but only if you will use it. You know, have you ever used up a highlighter? If not, you probably don't need the full one. You could get away with a mini and then just have more options. I will link my minis or not video below if you guys want to check it out and see my thoughts on the questions that we should ask ourselves when we're deciding whether to buy a mini product or a full-size product. Now we're going to talk about ingredients. The first 4 ingredients, if you didn't know, in any formula or list of ingredients on the back of a product are usually the products that are the most prevalent in that formula. The first 4 ingredients in this are mica, talc, capric triglyceride, and isostearyl alcohol. Let's talk about mica. Mica imparts a sparkly white appearance to cosmetics and personal care products. So, next is talc, and I will have you know that mica and talc are almost in all pressed powders, whether it's eyeshadow, highlighters, face powder, things like that. Mica and talc are very common ingredients. It is a naturally occurring whitish gray material. In color cosmetics, talc is used to help control shine and absorb oil. So that is why it's a common ingredient in powder products. So next we have capric triglyceride. It is also known as fraction coconut oil, which I found is interesting. Its most popular use is as an emollient for calming and softening out the skin due to the fact that it is capable of rapid penetration, meaning it absorbs quickly. And then some benefits of capric triglyceride include the fact that it is not greasy at all and it has a very light texture. It is also rapidly absorbing and is highly skin compatible. It also does not leave behind visible oil remains on the skin, which is of course good unless you're into looking like a grease ball. So next we have isoteryl alcohol, and it and other fatty alcohols keep an emulsion from separating into its oil and liquid components. My thoughts on this and how I like to apply it this week, this Becca highlighter here, I did discover that I actually, as much as I'm not a big fan of this brush, haha, fan brush, get it? As much as I'm not a fan of this fan brush, and I said it again, I did find that this was my preferred method for applying this highlighter on the cheekbone. I like to tap into this and just go at the cheekbones like this, down the nose, into the nose, Cupid's bow, of course. And then which I usually do, at least on my cheekbones, I need to blend it out a little bit. I've been using the e.l.f. blender brush. You guys know this is one of my favorites. And I just, you know, buff it out so it looks nice and soft and natural to me. But again, you know, here's the swatch. This is a gorgeous product. I'm glad that I took the chance to look deeper into it this week. And really, you know, try it out and see. I mean, that's a gorgeous highlight right there, in my opinion. It maybe went down too far, but I'm just kind of dewy and luminous today as a general rule. I did try it on the inner corners of my eyes, although that is not what I'm wearing today. It absolutely has a gorgeous effect. I don't know if all of you guys are in the habit of doing that, but if you like a highlighter on your face, chances are it will look amazing as an inner corner highlight that just brightens up that inner corner like nobody's business. So let's go ahead and get into the Mario Badescu facial spray. And this is the one with aloe green tea and cucumber. According to Cruelty Free Kitty, Mario Badescu is a cruelty-free brand. This is a cooling facial mist infused with nutrient-rich botanicals, hydrates, tones, and re-energizes. Available in 4 ounce for $7 and 8 ounce for $12. Obviously, if you buy the bigger one, it's a better deal. But they also, I have seen, you know, in the candy aisle at Ulta and Sephora, well, Ulta, I should say, they do have a travel size of this one. It does invigorate dull, tired skin with an infusion of cucumber and peppermint essential waters. This facial mist delivers a cooling boost of hydration as green tea provides powerful antioxidant protection, leaving the skin feeling refreshed and revitalized. This is in my spring project pan, and so I made a good dent on this week. One of my favorite uses was at nighttime after I had cleansed removed my makeup, cleansed my skin, and then toned, which I use a glycolic acid toner. And sometimes you can have some tingling and things like that, just like if you were using a vitamin C product. This I sprayed on my face before I put on my serums and moisturizers and things like that. And I really liked that. I felt like it cooled and calmed down my skin before I put the things that were going to absorb into my skin. So I really liked it for that. I definitely have been using it to set down the powders on my face, and it does work good for that. It's not the finest mist that I would prefer, but it is at least an even spritz, if you will. A little bit more than a mist, more like a spritz. And as long as you're far enough away from your face, it does fall in, like I said, an even manner that is tolerable. Again, the scent is not my favorite. That did not change this week. It also recommends on the Mario Badescu site for an extra refreshing and cooling boost, store the bottle in your refrigerator, which I don't know how many people do that, but I actually thought that was a really good idea, and I may try that with whatever setting spray or facial mist that I'm using come warmer weather. Mist the Mario Badescu facial spray onto face, neck, or hair as needed. Use it to infuse more hydration before or after applying moisturizer, as a pick-me-up on the go, or post-makeup application to give skin a dewy finish. If product gets into eyes, rinse well with water. So, you know, don't set your face with your eyes open. The first 4 ingredients are water, propylene glycol, peppermint leaf water, and then also there is cucumber fruit water in here. So I didn't look into water. Water is in a lot of liquid type cosmetics and skincare. But the first one I did look into was the propylene glycol. This is very common in skincare. It is a synthetic or man-made organic alcohol that attracts and absorbs water. So it is a humectant, which means, you know, it draws water to the skin or moisture in the air. It is also interesting to note that in the human body, propylene glycol is metabolized into lactic acid, which occurs naturally when muscles are exercised. But I find that really interesting, and I would like to read more up on that because lactic acid is really good for your skin. It helps with a lot of things, including skin turnover. And so that is really interesting to me, that not only does propylene glycol occur naturally in our body, but it also is turned or metabolized into lactic acid, which is really good for you. They're found in moisturizers to enhance the appearance of skin by reducing flaking and restoring suppleness. Propylene glycol is one of the most widely used ingredients in cosmetics and personal care products. I mean, it's being used as a humectant in this product. So I thought that was really cool. On to peppermint leaf water, because I can't say the real name. And peppermint leaf water imparts a distinct odor or flavor to products. In cosmetic and personal care products, these ingredients may also function as skin conditioning agents. Then we go on to cucumber fruit water, which is an ingredient made from the cucumber. Could you imagine? The cucumber fruit water functions as skin conditioning agent. So again, just another good thing to condition and add moisture to your skin. And then just a little fun fact, the cucumber is believed to be native to India, and evidence indicates that it has been cultivated in Western Asia for 3,000 years. Records of cucumber cultivation appear in France in the 9th century, England in the 14th century, and in North America by the mid-16th century. So cucumbers have been around for a long time, and I just wonder if women way back then knew anything about, you know, the positive skincare attributes. I mean, we all know about putting cucumbers on your eyes and things like that, but anyhow, I thought that was really interesting. I like history and I like science, insofar as science applies to the body or things that we use on our body. So the last product of this week, we've got this Ulta lipstick here. It is a really nice rose color, and I found what I like to use it with was some kind of a dark, slightly darker and dustier lip liner underneath. This is very pink, and it's a little, I don't want to say it's too light, it's just a little bit, I don't know, I guess maybe I say it's too light, but these are the two lip liners. This is the MAC Pencil and Whirl, and then this one is called Brown Sugar by Jean Bleu. We got it in a BoxyCharm, I believe, little lip liner. But yeah, like a dusty, rosy, nude lip liner. I liked this applied all over the lips, underneath, and then putting this lip on top, and it just gave it the right tone for my skin. Because I have warm undertones, this is a very cool pink, which means, you know, it has bluish undertones, which, you know, I'm still learning. This is my journey in beauty. So putting a warmer lip or a little bit darker lip liner on underneath became my favorite way to apply it. I didn't bring it, but I did try a couple of different little glosses just to put on the center of the lip and a little bit up here as a highlight, and that was really pretty. So that was fun. And then, okay, so this is the Ulta brand lipstick in the shade Berry Pretty. The shade name is not on the packaging, which I find to be extremely weird, but on their website, all of their shades are named, and these go for $8.50. And the Ulta brand is not cruelty-free, unfortunately, which is a really big bummer. I have a few Ulta Beauty things. I will eventually, you know, use them and move them out of my collection, and I won't repurchase them because I am trying to be cruelty-free. And then it says, Ulta's lipstick gives full rich color in a long-lasting formula. I don't know about long-lasting. I think it's pretty normal for a bullet lipstick though. Shea butter and hyaluronic filling spheres penetrate lips and provide moisturization and fill in lip lines and wrinkles for a soft, smooth pout, and it is gluten-free. I would agree that it is moisturizing. It does feel really nice on the lips, and it doesn't dry out my lips any, so I would assume that it lends some type of hydration to the lips. And I do think because of the thick, creamy formula that it is, but again, with any thick, creamy lipstick, it does fill in lines and sort of soften the appearance of lines in your lips because it's a thick, creamy product. So I don't think that's anything unusual is what I'm trying to get at. The first 4 ingredients, whew, these are going to be hard ones to say. Castor seed oil, and then octyldodecanol. Yeah. And capric triglyceride. I will put these ingredients on the screen as I'm talking about them in the editing process for your benefit, because I'm going to butcher some of these. And then again, capric triglyceride, and also isopropyl lanolate, which is an interesting ingredient. But let's start with castor seed oil. It is a vegetable oil obtained from the seeds of the Ricinus communis plant. And it is a skin conditioning agent, whatever that one is. It will be on the screen. That's horrible. I don't know how I ever thought I was going to say that. But it can help to form emulsions and prevent an emulsion from separating into its oil and liquid components, and that is what an emulsion is. Think of it like a vinaigrette. You would take an acid and you would take an oil, and when you would mix them together, it would become an emulsion or a vinaigrette. But anyhow, this keeps it helps bond those things together to stay that way, just like with a vinaigrette. If you shake it up and it becomes an emulsion, then you would dress your salad with it or whatever. But if you would let the vinaigrette set for a while, or if you buy a store-bought vinaigrette, you will see that it will separate eventually into its liquid form and its oil form, although they would be like this. So anyhow, that is what this ingredient does, is it keeps the liquid and the oil particles from separating. And then craptic. You guys, why did I get myself into with these words? The capric triglyceride, which is the same ingredient we talked about in the Becca highlight. It's a blend of acids, and it's known as fractioned coconut oil. Again, its most popular use is an emollient for calming and softening the skin. And then the last ingredient on this one is the isopropyl lanolate, which is a fatty substance that's used in the formulation of virtually every cosmetic and personal care product type, but is most frequently found in makeup products such as lipsticks, foundations, blushes, face powders, eyeshadow, and eyeliner. Now, isopropyl lanolate holds together the ingredients of a compressed tablet or cake of powder. When used in lipsticks, creams, lotions, and aerosol emulsions, it acts as a lubricant on the skin surface, which gives the skin a glossy, soft, smooth appearance, and I think lends to the spread ability of the lipstick. And then the last thing, which is a little sciencey thing, but I think it's important to know, is that isopropyl lanolate is produced from lanolin, which is isolated from the wool of sheep. Lanolin is secreted by the sebaceous gland of sheep into the wool to help make the wool waterproof. Isopropyl lanolate is one of the most versatile of the lanolin-derived ingredients and has been used in cosmetics and personal care products, as well as in pharmaceutical, for over 20 years. And also, my previous experience with lanolin was in breastfeeding my children. Lanolin is very crucial to nipple care, in case you were wondering. So this is a great lipstick. I'm glad that I sort of pushed myself not only to look into it, but also to use it this week. I think it's a pretty versatile rose shade. Again, it is cool toned, but it went with a lot of my looks this week with the Morphe 35F Fall into Frost palette, which you will see in my palette of the week video coming real soon, if not already. We are going to go ahead and go now to the drawing for next week. We'll draw the palette of the week, and we will draw 3 product types, and I will pick my products for next week, and then I better get researching, because this is a lot of work, but in a really fun, good way. I've always been an inquisitive person. My dad started me on a lifelong journey of learning when I was a young kid, and I've always loved to learn. So that's why I love this series so much, because I get to look into the ingredients and the science and the history of makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's go ahead and get into the products for next week. All right, guys, here we go. I have very exciting news. I'm going to be doing my second collab over on Instagram this coming week. using the palette of the week, which I'm about to draw. I think it's super cool. Her name is Green-Eyed Clementine. It's spelled just like it sounds, and it is all one word and all lowercase. She's so supportive to me on Instagram over there, always comments on my looks, tags me in giveaways, and so I really appreciate that. And I asked her if she might want to do a collab with me on Instagram, and so that's what we're going to do this week. She's going to come along with me on my palette of the week journey. So let's go ahead and see which palette we'll be doing. What I did do was take out the 3 palettes that I had in here that came from BoxyCharm, because some of them either aren't available still or would be harder to get a hold of. And my good friend Green-Eyed Clementine is willing to actually go purchase a palette of the 3 that I have left in here that are still available. So the palettes are the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, and the Wet n Wild reformulated Tin Pan Comfort Zone palette. So we're gonna give her a good shake. I'm gonna pick one of those and tell you what we got. I kind of hope it's the Sweet Peach or the Jaclyn Hill. I don't know. Let's see what it is. It is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. So 2 Morphe palettes in a row. Now the BoxyCharm ones will go back in here for future drawing. Pretty much everything in my collection is brand new, and so a lot of them are still a mystery to me in terms of how I like to apply them or things like that. I talked about that in my first sort of intro video into mystery makeup investigations. I will link that video below in case you missed it. Let's go ahead and draw the 3 products and then I'll go pick them out. So the first one is a concealer. I think I might have an idea which one I might pick because I have a couple of them in my project pans. The second product will be skincare, which I actually added this week. I forgot to add skincare, and when I was looking into ingredients for this week's products, I was like, oh yeah, I really want to learn more about the ingredients in my skincare and what they're there for, like what is their purpose or their function. So the last and final product will be a foundation, which will be really interesting because I have not looked very far into like face or base ingredients in makeup yet. I've mostly done more like color products or pressed products. So we have a concealer, a foundation, and a skincare item. I'm gonna go grab those and then I'll be right back. So anyways, the first choice was a concealer. I actually didn't pull the ones from my project pan because I'm really interested to know what my favorite concealer has in it, and this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. This is a mini guy that I got in the candy aisle at Ulta, and this is light neutral, and it's a pretty good shade match for me. It's actually what I'm wearing today. 2 of these products are, actually all of them are. The next thing was foundation, and this is again a favorite. I thought it would be appropriate to use this foundation with this concealer. This is gonna be hard packaging to show. The Urban Decay Naked Skin One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector with broad spectrum SPF of 20. Anyways, this is my current reigning favorite in my foundation collection. I love this. You get 1.3 fluid ounces in here, which is a little bit more than some foundations, and that's nice. So I'll be excited to see what's in these 2 because I do wear them so much, and I want to see if their ingredients show that they are as good as I think they are for my skin and just the performance of my makeup. So last thing was skincare, and you guys know I've been on the hunt for a really good eye cream. This is one that I do like. I just don't know if it's the best that I can afford for what I'm looking for. And this is the Pure Identity Luxe Firming Eye Cream, and you do get 0.54 ounces. So this applicator is how it looks. So you can see the hole there. That's where the product comes out. And then on the other side, it has almost like this foot that is metal, and it's supposed to be depuffing because it's cooling because it's metal. So I do like this eye cream. I'm just not for sure it's the best one out there for the price point that I'm willing to spend. So it'll be fun. Let's get into this next week. I will be doing lots of research and things like that, and I'll see you in our next one. Bye.